Mr. Love here, back in the land of the living.
He's alive. He's alive. Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's not in the building. I won't go through the AKAs. It's a different show.
So what up, you LeBron fans? What's going on with ya?
Oh Lord,
Bronny.
Personally, I am an OKC Thunder fan, so
you can get out of here with that too.
And that's the end of our show.
Westbrook, baby.
You know, it's funny in saying that. I mean, I don't really care so much about LeBron. I figured I was hoping he stayed back east if it was about basketball. But with him going to the Lakers, I know it's about more.
If it ain't about the money.
Well, I don't think it's even money. Like, it's not basketball money.
Yeah.
I think he's more on his legacy. Like, okay, I'm going to set my kids up for this. I'm going to get my production company, which, you know, he's been producing shows and movies for a minute. And if you compare...
At the end of the day, it's about the money.
It is, but I think it's more so
about
the family legacy, not his personal legacy.
Yeah.
But, you know, in saying that, you know, you mentioned OKC. I mean, I can't really say I'm a Russ fan. Mm-hmm. That boy can ball, but
I love his passion.
He's a black hole, man. Like,
yeah.
You said his passion or his fashion?
Both.
I like that he's fearless with his fashion.
Exactly. He's different. He's trendy. He sets his own pace, and that's what I love. I love people that are eccentric and they just do their thing. So. But
you see today that Carmelo, OKC says they're going to buy Carmelo out.
Yep. Oh
yeah. Yeah. He's going to be a he's going to be a Laker.
I don't think he added to the.
No, I think that was a bad stop for him.
Yeah. He's too busy stuck on Lala.
I mean, he's stuck on. I mean, especially after halfway losing her, you know. Yeah. I would be on that too, but.
Well, what's going on with that? Are they?
You know what? I haven't heard anything else really about that. It's. I mean, that shit was super funny to me. The Honey Nut Cheerios that Kevin Garnett said, that shit was just funny.
Man.
Like, anybody would be able to fight over that. But I think they kept their relationship, if they do have one, out of the limelight.
Yeah. Very. I mean, with this time of day, everybody's always in your business. And the way that came out, it didn't explode like I thought it would be with them being celebrities, and it kind of was kept on the hush hush. Like, we heard about it, but then it went away real quick. But shout out to Lala. She doing her thing. Power. Have y'all seen the first episode yet?
I did watch the first episode.
I'm far behind.
Oh, okay.
far behind.
It's very interesting. It set the tone for how the season is going to be, and I'm kind of excited to see where it's going to go.
Everybody trying to get Teresa out of there.
Yes, with Dre and all that. It's like he's with the big head honchos, the head guys. So it's like, how is that going to work out with him?
So before I come, Steve, how far back are you?
Bro.
Probably like second season.
Man, when was 50 Set on Fire?
Ooh.
That's season 1.
Was it 1?
No, that's like 2.
No,
give us some credit. It's like
that was the first season. That was the season finale.
At the lesbian's house.
Yeah. I think that was
so that's okay when he comes back.
When he came back,
that's season 2.
Yes,
because that was the season finale of the first season. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Honey, get you up.
I got so much going on. I don't get a chance to just keep up with the shows. I usually watch it after the fact, or I end up binge watching at some point in time. Yeah. So my wife is stuck on her shows. So as soon as I get my TV,
man, I was pretty pissed off at Ghost after like season 2 because I would think a dope man of his stature and what he was trying to do, he would have been more in tune with what Angela, his side chick, did for a living. And he would not have been blindsided by that.
Exactly.
People talk about, oh, well, he's in love and that's his first love.
No, when you a D-boy like that,
right,
you on your stuff because you know if I slip up and she with the law, I'm done. Like, this is my life. And it's been my life. So how could you slip up? I don't care. Money, love, but I mean, some people say it blind you, but at the end of the day,
that's what they say. I just don't see it in that particular arena with what he was trying to get going, what he was at that time. Yeah. Like, he was being set up to be the distributor.
Yeah.
He's been set up. He's been groomed for that.
Yeah.
You don't just go date some chick and don't know what she do.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Forget the fact that she was a law enforcement agent.
Yeah.
She could have worked at Kinko's.
Yeah.
You gonna know.
Yeah.
What's up?
Facts.
Just because, you always looking over your back when you're in that life. Or, so I hear, I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Not speaking from experience.
I'm an upstanding young man, so I don't get into any trouble.
Speak of upstanding. Anyway, I like that hat you got on.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I chimed in a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how do men feel about women giving them compliments and shooting their shot? Like, does it seem thirsty or?
I think it's dope. Personally, I personally, nothing a man loves more than having his ego stroked.
Right.
So now I believe that it's all in the approach. Now, if you're obviously coming at him because you can see that he's wearing his Gucci shoes and he's Gucci down. Not nobody wear Gucci.
No.
Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada, whatever. And
designer.
You can tell when a woman is coming for you or if she's coming because she's looking at your wallet.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's an obvious thing. But yeah, it just depends on the approach. But I love it.
Yeah.
It's not happening to me no more. But I like that.
I've had mixed feedback on that from men.
Really?
Yeah. Some have said that they think a woman is thirsty if she comes to a guy and asks him for his number. And I'm like, why?
See, this is my thought process about thirst. Before I get too deep into that, like, I do appreciate when a woman can compliment a man. When she can say how she feels and not feel embarrassed about it. The same way a man will do a woman, like, hey, like, I just want to point out whatever. It's not anything about it being thirsty. It's not really so much of attraction. It's really just an appreciation to begin with. If you look at it,
appreciation of being
whatever it is, whatever.
Kept.
Yeah. And I think people should take it as such. But when you start talking about the thirst, and because we all get it from time to time, but thirst is really, that's a negative connotation for when you don't want the advance from someone. At least that's the way I feel.
Yeah. And maybe that's how it is. It's more like, okay, she's talking to me, but I'm not really interested. But my thing is, there's a way you can go about it. I mean, men, women too, they shoot their shot at me a lot, but I let down people easily. If you're being too aggressive.
How many people do you let down?
I'm still single.
Well, that question, I'm going to get to that, but then the question for me becomes why, but we can touch on that in a minute.
Yeah, we will, but it's quality over quantity to me. So, I mean, I'm kind of picky.
Kind of.
And I go off of vibes. People can fake it.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, people can fake it, and sometimes they get caught off guard, but after a month or so, I'm like, okay, I see you for who you are, because I start paying more attention, asking more questions.
Right.
But with me being the chill type of person I am, I don't like to ask many questions, because then they like, why you all up in my business? Why you asking me these questions? But then again, I need to know, because I need to know what type of person you are. And
it's the interview process.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about this. You meet someone's representative, and like my parents schooled me on this scenario. My mother particularly, she was like, you don't really know someone until you have lived with them for over a year.
I just said that to you.
Just said that.
I just said that. Oh my God.
And, as when I was younger, I never really understood that. And I've never had the opportunity to live with a woman for a long term. I mean, I've shared space, for a very minute amount of time. And from that time, I strongly believe what my mom was saying. Like,
definitely.
Because even though you're in each other's personal space, y'all might be sharing a roof or whatever, you're still tiptoeing around each other.
Definitely. Yeah. But things are coming out piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
You can find it out in a couple of months, to be honest. I know I have. And it's like, are you going to go or are you going to stay? Because these are the things that you're going to probably put
up everybody?
With. Yeah.
I see you, nephew. I see you, Lord.
These are the things you're going to put up with, and they might not change. And it's like, can you deal with them not ever changing?
Yeah, deal breakers are a big thing. I know that's been a hot button in the last few years about, what works and what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. I mean, you being a married man, like, what are things that you experienced that, because I know. Married for a long time, y'all. Go and tell me how many years it's been. I know your toleration has to be different. Because black marriage is still, I put that out there because it's still there. It still exists. Because I truthfully had stopped believing in it. So. You stopped believing in black love? I kind of almost did. It was just kind of like, Don't fall for the hype, man. Black love exists.
It's facts. I've been married 18, going on 18 years. So truth be told, like you were saying, you find out about if they want to be together, if they want to stay together when they're living in that space together. But truth be told, then it becomes a compromising situation. What can you deal with? How much will you deal with? Right. Mm-hmm. Is one willing to change for another? Right. A lot of people will say, or a lot of people get into relationships and say, man, I ain't changing for nobody. Man, he ain't gonna change me. This is who I am, and blah, blah, blah. No, but truth be told, some things you will have to change. Definitely. Yeah. But some people won't. They just won't. Some people won't. Some people can't get it wrapped around in their mind that they're not single anymore. Mm-hmm. Now you are married or in a relationship just at that. So you can't necessarily behave like a non-married person. Yeah, definitely. So, and it's that compromise, you know what I'm saying? Damn, put the toilet seat there. You know what I'm saying? Little shit like that. Put the toothpaste, the top back on the toothpaste. So, a number of those things all in the sink. I cannot stand that. Do not have wasted toothpaste in the sink. I just, that's been in your mouth. Oh my God, that drives me crazy. Kick up like concrete. Oh yes. Oh my God. And that's something for myself. I don't think I've really analyzed what my deal breakers are. What would I be willing to tolerate in a really truly committed relationship, marriage? I think it's different for each person. I think it is too. Every person you like somebody one way, and then you can like somebody else another way. So it's different levels. But I mean, are there hard and fast rules that you have? Not saying that they can't be broken or modified, but are there things like, I'm going to just ask you, Steve, straight out. Before you got married, were there hard and fast rules that you were like, I ain't going to do this, but then you've wavered from as you've been married? Absolutely. Like a deal breaker that something that you see your wife do that you say, you know what, before we got married, I wouldn't have dealt with this. And not to get you in trouble. No, it's all good. It's nothing, without going too deep, it's nothing that she don't know. Tread lightly. I'll just throw this one out there. I was not a fan of a woman passing gas around me. All right. Y'all, I'm going to be honest, I'm terrible at that. Terrible like you don't care? Or terrible, you have terrible gas? I'm not about to have a stomach ache just because, we natural. That's what we do. Yeah. I don't try to purposely do it, but if I know it's coming and I can't get away, honey, you're going to have to deal with it. Do you give them a warning? Oh, wow. Okay. Hit them with the Dutch oven. Get under these sheets. I'm like, don't let them cheat. Oh, my God. Yeah, I probably, like in the beginning, you know what? That's a funny story. So, speaking of representatives, so in my last relationship, I was spending the night, from time to time, because we didn't share a space. But I still, I didn't want to, I wanted her to think this X, Y, and Z. I didn't want to, expose her right away to, the darker sides. And I think one night, man, I don't know what we had to eat or whatever, but man, it got to me bad, man. But I had to creep to that guest bedroom, and the bathroom, the toilet would flush, and I was like, man, I hope she don't wake up. I really hope she don't wake up. And it was so funny because I didn't want her to get wind of what happened. No pun intended. No pun intended. But so I shut the door because I didn't want her to walk by and be like, women don't care. I don't think women care about that. I don't.
If you grew up with
Appreciate
a
that,
father,
Chris. Thank you, sir.
If you grew up with a father that blew up the whole house every time he went, you know it's natural. Like
I know, but
I feel like women are more okay with dealing with it.
Yeah.
But guys, when we think of a woman, we're thinking pretty, soft, and smell good all the time.
Nah.
Yeah,
y'all don't have no sisters. Y'all don't have sisters.
I do, but they my sisters.
They're my sisters.
I hold them to a different standard. I know your stinking ass.
Because you sitting with this bad chick. Yeah. And y'all sitting there, y'all Netflix and chilling. All of a sudden, she roll up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that it hurts me. Like it hurts my heart.
I try not to do it too soon, but I'm just me, man. I just gotta keep it real and hey.
Mine just let me know.
Gotta let it loose.
Something's about to go down. Give you a heads up.
I kind of, what I do kind of hint it. I'm like, ooh, that food kind of got to me. I'm a little bubbly, kind of put it out there. But I mean, hey, it's natural. We all do it.
Yeah,
Get over it.
I think I probably been worse with that when I was younger, but as I get older, I probably
Women
need to
don't
ease
care.
up.
We care about other stuff.
Yeah.
Like the toilet seat.
She would have cared that day. She'd have cared.
I'm like, how the plumber?
So here's the question. But like you were saying in regards to, like a woman shooting a shot, do women slide into the DMs?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do. They do. Everything goes back and forth. I mean, everything that men do, women do too. Just sometimes on different levels, but women and men do it.
I think women masquerade with what roles they're supposed to play in terms of dating and DMs and whatnot. Like, and I think sliding into the DMs, the cultural term now, like women do that because nobody.
Some of y'all don't know what DM is. It means direct messaging. So meaning you go into their inbox and be like, hey, what's up? You might not know them, but you saw them and you're interested. So that's for the people that don't know.
But see, that's kind of what I was getting at though, is some women hide behind the fact that I'm going to send this cat a direct message and ain't nobody going to know about it. So I'm not really put out like there if it doesn't go the way I want it to go.
Right.
My thing is, like, I like assertive women. Like, not to the point where, like, she's trying to bulldoze me. But I like assertive women that are in tune with themselves and know kind of what they want.
Like confident, like I'm
confident.
Yeah.
And so when a chick hollers at me, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, like I dig it. It's just like if I don't feel like I can return the compliment when it kind of irks me a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, you're nice. But you know what I mean?
I kind of like sometimes I either ignore it. I usually try to respond to people, but if I don't respond, or no, if they're doing too much, then I just stop responding. Because it's like if you don't get, I say no, and you see,
let me holla.
Go away. I'm trying to be nice here, but some men don't. They just don't get it. I'm like, oh.
They send their first message, hello, beautiful. You say hi, then boom, dick pic.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that.
So how do you respond to that?
I'm like, oh, like. That's well, it depends on what it looked like.
Oh no!
Like, oh, that's nice. What made you so comfortable to share that with me? And how many have you shared this with? Like,
if he does, that's the way I approach it. Like, if a chick does something like that to me, like
she does it all the time.
You done said that to like 20 other dudes,
right? Yeah.
Especially if it's off the first introduction.
I'm not special. That's exactly what I think. I'm not special.
Especially
that's cool,
it's just within the first two messages. Yeah, that's pretty.
Something about your Instagram that made me want to send you this.
Oh, okay.
So, have you gotten somebody's DMs before? Girl, say yeah. Stop.
Yes, but not on a stranger level. Like, not with somebody that I never
somebody
knew.
You were familiar with.
Somebody that I knew. But it was, I don't even know how to explain that. It was just more like we're friends and just kept it at that. Because after you do that and you go on a date and you realize, they're not who I thought they were. So, and it doesn't make them bad people. It was more of an attraction than a vibe.
Right.
So.
Okay. I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that. Well, I mean, I think it's cool, like when a woman could, jump in the inbox or compliment or even like I've had chicks like buy me drinks when I'm at,
I've done that.
Like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And it was refreshing to hear that because before it always been me.
Yeah.
And like situations
those
like that.
roles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes me think about what gender roles are like.
Yeah.
Should I be offended that this chick want to buy me a drink? Like I can't buy my own drinks. You know, like I don't think that. It's just like, all right, cool, yeah. You know, when I was drinking, I'm drinking ginger beer. No alcoholic beverages for me. But yeah,
we getting toasted. So.
I'm gonna leave that to them. But I mean, how do y'all feel about gender roles? I mean, I'm sure that has become, well, let me not say become. Has that been a struggle?
It has for me.
Has it?
In this society, it has been for me because I'm a very old school, very traditional, and I feel like a man should approach a woman. So that's why I don't really just do the whole DM.
Yeah, but you're strong-willed too, though.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that. And I need to tread lightly when I say this.
Yes, don't be.
Well, no, like that. I don't think I think you can still maintain your femininity while still being a confident, assertive woman.
Of course, definitely. But some men take my strongness as it's overbearing to some men, but I feel like the right man is going to be able to handle it. What's your thought on that?
I struggle with the quote unquote right man scenario.
Okay.
Because, and without going too deep into it, I'll let you determine how deep you want to go. Mm-hmm. Like, you being as assertive as you are is almost going to take a caveman.
Well, come on, caveman.
I'm serious. Captain Caveman is going to have to come in and bulk your ass. You know, that's just the way I feel.
But I came from a caveman foundation. Like, the men in my family are so strong.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. That's kind of what brought you along. And that's why you are the way you are.
Tough. And that's why I'm so tough. Like, a lot of my guy friends, they're like, Tish, you should be a dude. Like, your mentality, the way you act, like, you're so chill. You don't act like most females. And I was like, well, I guess my dad, it's 4 of us, 3 girls and 1 boy. Okay. My daddy had us out in the backyard shooting guns, hunting, fishing. So I'm kind of a tomboy, and I don't cry about everything. I have that, okay, if it's broke, let's just get it fixed. I'm not going to whine about it. Okay. I'm trying to look for solutions and not you know, and some men, I'm harder than some of these niggas out here. Like, it's crazy.
So, okay, in saying that, if you're harder than some of these dudes out here that you come across, like, how do you assess that? Like, what are some of the triggers that make you say, oh, yeah, he too soft for me?
Just different situations that may come up, and I'm like, okay, what can we do? Like, you're crying about it. What can we do about it?
See, that's what I'm saying, crying. Like,
well, not crying. I'm just saying, like, just not trying to find a solution, wanting sympathy instead of just...
You got an example?
No, not. I mean, I do, but I don't want to.
Okay.
Because as soon as I say it, they might be watching, and I don't want, you know.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of women say similar things, if not the same thing that you said in terms of the outright masculinity of men being able to tackle that situation.
I think it's a mental thing. I think society is making women more harder and men more softer.
I agree with you. Now the question
of the black man.
Oh,
well, yes. So what started that?
That's heavy. Question. And actually, I saw
social media. I think
no, it happened well before that. In my opinion,
yeah.
D.L. Hughley actually had a post in regards to this topic, and he went even farther back to the way that government assistance is handled. Yeah. And he says it goes back farther than that, but he started from here. Okay. So government assistance, a woman got this much money for government assistance. She gets more money if she has a child.
Right.
But now if her and the man are still together, she gets less money.
Correct.
So
then
if she gets assistance at all.
If she gets assistance at all.
That's like making her not need her man, right?
Yes. So it pushes the husband
now
out.
Becomes her man.
Yeah. So it pushes the man out so that she can get more money, which breaks up the household.
Right.
Now the women are raising men only
without a man in the house.
So
he's only getting a woman's perspective on life.
There you go. And he took it from there, and it built on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, I agree with what you said, and I think that's a piece of it. But there's still both men and women that have grown up in two-parent households with two solid examples, and they're still considered less than.
Real talk.
And that's kind of where I want to figure out how that happened. Mm-hmm. How do we still get to this dynamic where we feel like our men in our community, or at least the perception is, our men aren't as masculine as they should be, and our women are taking more of the reins, switching the role. And I don't put the responsibility on women. I ultimately put the responsibility on men. I think that
it's like, just step up and do it, honey. Like, they did it back in the day. Why can't you do it now?
Yeah, but see, our world is different, and I tell people this all the time.
It is.
If you look at our world right now, you go back, you turn the clock back 100 years, men are essentially the same, but women are light years past where they were 100 years ago. In a positive way.
Yeah.
And I think when you have
more
that
educated,
right, you got more opportunities, everything.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, we're still women. We still want to feel safe, protected. We want to be soft. We want to be vulnerable. But in this time and day, it almost feels like we can't be, or we're going to be taken advantage of. So a lot of women out here, especially black women, we're just hardened because we're like, we want to be successful. We want to have this. We want to do this for our kids and provide better lives. And we just sometimes feel like the men don't have our back. And that's hard because we're fighting.
Why do you feel like that?
Just different situations that have happened in dating, men walking away, not fighting for their marriages or relationships.
That's a big thing that you just said.
And it's like, because it's so easy to go to the next chick instead of
the grass is
on
greener in situations. I mentioned opportunity, and not to cut you off.
Yeah, you good.
When opportunities abound for everyone, it's easy for us to see the chick next door, the chick at work. The same way, you go out, you see a dude at work, the UPS guy that comes to deliver a package. The options are there.
Yeah.
And part of the society we live in a world that everything is microwave. Like, we want it right now.
Microwave
that
society.
pertains to relationships too. If, just like we were saying, like these deal breakers, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go holler at this one over here.
She ain't got that issue.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or he ain't got that issue.
And we haven't even dug deep into the situation yet, but it's just like, I ain't down for that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a lot of that happens. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. There have been a couple of situations, if I would have just tread, that water just a little bit more and weathered that wave, I might could have been okay. But at the time, I was like, no. You
probably weren't mentally in it. We grow daily and we mature daily mentally. So
we should.
I've
been stagnant in a lot of areas for a while. I can admit that now because I had to take a long look because
at yourself.
I had to sit down for and I looked at a whole bunch of stuff. But
I can say I personally grown. Like, I put up with a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have put up with. And it's just more of, it wasn't even so much more about that person. Uh-huh. It was more of me showing myself that I have the patience to try to see a person through and take as much as I can take. And then once I get to that point, it's like, I can't do this no more.
So the homie Kenyatta Morris brought up a really good point in terms of dating. He said courting has changed, and he believes that people hide behind text. He believes that people should get their asses off and get off the phones. And I think, like we just talked about that, social media does play a big point because there is a limit in the interaction that you have where you don't have to necessarily be fully engaged in it. And it's easy to just disengage from it because you have that buffer with the phone.
Right. And even then,
computer screen or whatever.
In text messaging, so much can be lost in translation.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And that's a seriously big thing there.
And that shit bothers me. Because I can have a whole conversation via text and mean exactly what I'm saying, but the interpretation could be totally different, and that's not what I meant. Mm-hmm. Even though I was trying to mean whatever I was trying to say, whether it's positive or negative. Yeah. It kind of bothers me when I can't have a conversation because I can't always have the phone on my ear. Yeah. I'm in situations sometimes where, like, I'm quick to shoot a text and I mean exactly what I meant. Yeah. But it'll just get lost, like you said.
Right. Yeah. But how do we get back to that? Like, because texting, like you said, is so convenient, it's so fast, it's so easy. but at the end of the day, it's not personal. We're very techy. And so it's kind of more like, okay, what did they mean by that? How did they feel when they said that? How is it making me feel? And it's confusing because it almost kind of blocks you from growing. Like if it's somebody you're dating, it blocks that, I guess, that genuineness of whatever y'all are trying to do.
Did you see the point that Kendra Gabriel just made before you comment? He said that the reason why it's a microwave society is because people lack patience in anything and they got to have whatever it is right away.
Yeah.
Courtship takes time.
Definitely.
Especially if that person you're getting to know is really interested in knowing you. It's got to evolve naturally. That's something that I was guilty of in my last relationship. Like, I realized I got to a point where I was trying to force things to happen.
Honey, you can't do that.
I thought I was letting things happen organically. I thought I was being nice, which is another area where I faulted myself with not being more assertive, as I feel, which falls into the whole masculinity thing, because I was like, you know what, I don't want to mess this one up and be too forceful. So let me just
fall back.
Yeah. But I fell too far back. And when I tried to reach to get it to make up for where I felt I was losing, I was doing too much. So I couldn't find the balance. You got to find the balance. But,
so random.
have you seen that video where dude does that song? Oh man, it's so funny.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I could not find an equilibrium at that point because I was so, I'm not afraid to say that I was afraid. I didn't want to lose this person that I thought was so great because I had an admiration and respect before we got together anyway. But once we got together, I was like, man, like this is what I'm
playing my cards right.
So I got to make sure this one goes well.
Yeah.
So I avoided things that I should have done, thinking that I was going, the chain was going to fall off the bike anyway, and then pedal too hard and hit you
have
back
to find
in
a
there.
medium.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Women
what I'm saying.
do not like to be forced. I personally, if you force me, it's going to push me. Right. And it can be coming from a good place. It still doesn't matter to me. If you it pushes me away because it's like, why are you doing so much? Like, just calm down and just let it naturally play out.
Excellent comments, family. Excellent comments.
See, and the thing about it is, like what you were just saying, and it's a balance, and especially for the
you got to buy in the balance.
It's for us. It's the woman wants the man to be assertive. But at the same time, we're not trying to push too hard.
Yes.
Right. So it's finding, like you're saying, that balance.
We want you to take control, actually. We want you to lead us. Right. We are naturally built to want you to lead us. So it's not that we don't want you to take control. Right. We just don't want you to be forceful with it. We want you to nurture us at the same time while
See, that's where the balance is so hard. It's like, I don't want to push too hard and be the man that I feel like I can be and then break you.
Yeah.
Like, or at least that's how I feel.
And that's where communication comes in.
True.
On both ends. Because if a woman is feeling like that, for instance, I'll put myself as an example. A guy I was dating, he was just forcing everything. And I was like, just slow down. You're moving too fast for me. And he wasn't listening. And it took me leaving for him to be,
right.
to see.
You got it. Right.
And I was like, but even then, when we would get into it, he was like, okay, I'm going to chill. He would chill for a little bit, but he would go back to that forceful way. Yeah. And it got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I was communicating, but his actions wasn't, I guess, reciprocating what I needed as to help us work. So,
I did that.
Yeah. I want to circle back. Christian actually asked a question for you.
Okay.
He wanted to ask you, do you feel like romance is dead nowadays?
Yes.
Do you really?
I do. And that saddens my heart because I'm such a hopeless romantic. I love the roses, the walks in the park. I love all that old school stuff, but I feel like a lot of men aren't raised or shown how to date or court a woman in this time and day. Everything's Netflix and chill.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you.
That's a great night.
I agree with that, but not for the reason that you said, and I'm guilty of this. Like, I was accused of not being very romantic in my last relationship, and I understand where that comes from too. As a guy, Like, I have not dated a woman that I wanted to make a fool of myself over yet. Like, from the standpoint, not that I felt like I wasn't close to it, but I felt like everything would be cornball if I did this. If I wrote the letter, like, do you like me, yes or no? Like, that is
you haven't met a woman that
I have, but I could not take the step to really just humiliate myself for.
That's not humiliate.
Bullshit.
Women love that.
No, I
if it's received, you have to.
That's where I'm getting at. If it's, you said if it's received, and there might be a situation where I'm overthinking it. But honestly, like, I was like, man, you know what? It'd be cool if I do this, and then I'm not gonna do that because then it's gonna happen this way. Like, I got this chick some flowers one time a while back, man, and like, from there she told me she was getting married, and I was like, what kind of is this?
What?
That's exactly how
it happens to y'all too.
You gave a girl some flowers?
No. I'm just saying, you could be vibing so well with a person, and then all of a sudden find out, oh, they're married. And it's like, what the hell? Where was this months ago when we met? And because, like I said, I don't ask a lot of questions. I've learned to ask now. Like, are you married? How many baby moms you got? You got kids? You got a girlfriend? Shh. You got to ask those questions. Do you like men?
This is beyond.
I need to know everything.
You get married.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens to dudes too. Like, it ain't just women that this stuff happens to. Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of where I had to reevaluate, like, being too nice. Like, and I actually had a conversation with my buddy today, and what he said was kind of profound to me. He was like the idea is to not be nice. Like, be a gentleman, be respectful, but screw being nice. Nice doesn't get you anywhere. And I started thinking about that.
I don't know. Because if me and you are vibing and you're nice to me, that's going to help me open up more as a woman to you, and then we're going to vibe even more. It just has to be with the right person. You can't be nice to everybody. That's
why you shouldn't be nice. Like, I can be respectful and be attentive and mindful of what I think you need and what you're communicating to me, and not be nice. Because you're looking at it from the standpoint of, you know, that's a nice guy and he's respectful, and I'm all of that. But what I learned is, like, it's true. Nice guys finish last, and it's only because nice women too. You're thinking of what you put that other person's needs before yours. That comes at a stage. You can't do that right out the gate.
No, not immediately.
And that's what when we talk about people being nice and nice guys, that person is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be nice and all chummy. And that turns you off because now you realize, okay, this dude is going to break his back for me, and that's not what I want in that regard. You kind of have to. No, you want it, but you want it
not immediately.
Situationally. You want
it.
You know, like you just said it earlier, you want a dude that's going to take charge and be assertive and do that. Sometimes that requires not being nice. But once you understand that, once you find the balance, that's when it's cool.
But like you're saying,
it's gonna be so much funnier when y'all finally hear that.
I'm gonna Google it. YouTube or something.
But like you were saying, going back to like he was saying, nice guys finish last. You're seeing, well, I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm seeing there's been more attraction to the thug or the G or the gangster.
You know why? Because those people are not nice.
They're not.
They're respectful to the women outside of the other. They're respectful and they're attentive, but they ain't nice. They're gonna tell you, "Hey, look, no, that ain't
looking
for
boys to men.
They'll put you in your place. That requires not being nice.
You ain't looking for boys to men. You want Ty Dolla $ign.
I want a mixture.
You don't want Joe. You want Future.
I want a mixture of both. Can I have both, please? And one
There's somebody out there that can be both. I mean, you just have to be open for it. I'm not saying that you're not. I think you are open. Ghost.
We're ghosts. Ghost holla.
See,
I need a ghost.
James St. Patrick is a nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is both in one. Like, I could date somebody like him. He got his stuff together.
You know what's so funny about that scenario is looking at his dynamic. He's married to Tasha. He's got a wife. She wants Ghost. Angela wants James.
But I want both.
It's possible to do both.
Yeah.
And I think circling back to that, I think we're going to see him really tread that line and be both this season. Like in every season, he picked one or the other. Depending
like
on
a double life,
right? And I think now he's gonna be forced to be both.
Yeah, that would be lovely, man.
I think that's. I mean, going back to it, finding the balance. I mean, you got to figure out how to be both.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the chat, it said, rejection makes most people turn into assholes.
Definitely.
Yeah, hell
Fear.
Yeah, it does.
Fear. Yeah. Nobody wants to be hurt. We naturally want to guard our hearts and not feel pain. And when you feel pain emotionally, that's kind of hard to get over. I mean, especially if you care about somebody, and if it's some random, okay, whatever. But if it's somebody you really dig in and y'all been dating, it makes you guarded for the next person. And that's unfortunate because that next person has absolutely nothing to do.
Pay that pain forward.
Pay it forward. But it's unfair, but at the same time, it's like you got to guard your heart too. So it's like, where do you go from there as far as...
Okay, I'm going to switch gears real quick based on that, guarding your heart. We know we tend to have more topics, not just in this setting. I'm just saying, like, we see a lot more of it, with just soap operas, movies, shows, or whatever, music, obviously, where the woman's heart is broken and we almost are forced to sympathize with the women. But there are times when men become guarded too, and it makes it hard to date women. So a lot of what you may see in dating is that man being callous towards a situation. Like me, like I'm not a callous individual, but the romanticism that you would want to be able to see, like that's part of me that has hardened. Like I ain't getting you flowers and stuff all the time because when I have done it in the past, it wasn't appreciated the way I felt like it should. Like, I don't do this. You realize I don't do this shit at all. And I did it for you. You should be happy. But I can't expect
some women don't appreciate it though.
I know some women don't appreciate it. Hence, I'm getting married.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
But how did this? Was that not a conversation y'all had? Like,
No, that was not a conversation. I was no more talking after that.
Wow. I'm saying before that.
No, that
y'all weren't dating other people.
No.
Wow.
No. I was digging her, and I wanted to do something nice.
So I guess it do happen on both ends.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a tough one right there.
She told me her favorite colors were blue and orange. I went and found blue and orange tulips.
Aww.
Got a nice little setup because she was not feeling well. Took them to her. Yeah, I'm getting married. What? No.
Wow.
There was no balance. No balance.
No balance.
Ooh, that's a tough one right there.
I mean, it was tough, but it didn't hurt me nearly as bad as I thought it would. 'Cause we were still fairly early in the dating stage. It wasn't like I got deep into it and I was ready to take that plunge myself.
Yeah.
It would have hurt more if I was ready, like, oh, I was going to borrow you. I wasn't close to that.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, yeah, it was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
It'd have been one thing if she said, I'm actually seeing somebody else. But she said, I'm getting married.
Right.
Wow.
I was like,
So I
that
have a
ball
question.
came out of left field.
Since y'all saying, so y'all think romance is still alive? Yes or no?
It's
because you're on one side we're talking about romance, but then on the other side we're saying you can't be nice. So how does that work if you're not being nice?
I got a bunch of buddies that are super romantic. That shit just don't work for me.
Okay.
I got a bunch of buddies. Like I watch what they do for their women, their wives, their girlfriends, and I'm like, man, you know what? It'd be cool if I could do that, but it don't work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was taught, from like my elders, my grandfather stuff. It's like you got to be willing to make a fool of yourself for somebody.
And that's what I ain't ready to do.
and I, up until my wife, I made a fool of myself. Mm-hmm. Some of it failed, some worked in my favor, but. And I know what he's saying about not wanting to put himself out there. Because I put myself out there and got rejected. And I was like, man, this whole bullshit, man. Fuck these.
Yeah. But you took that chance, though. And that's life. That's living life. You don't want to live trapped up in this box. And it's just and not be able to say, oh, I experienced life and I took that chance and ended up finding the right one. Oh, Lord. Somebody got a question? You ever get compliments?
My buddy Josh, go ahead and scratch the screen. Scratch your sniff.
The food said, man, Wiley, you smell good. What's that fragrance?
Actually, I got on some Issey Miyake, Le Bleu de Issey today.
So I'm rocking that Irish Spring.
I ain't gonna tell y'all what I got on.
Why not?
I don't like sharing my favorite perfume because...
Oh, it's your favorite. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You don't want people to
I don't want other women smelling like me. I'm sorry.
I
can be selfish like that sometimes.
You know what?
I do wear Gucci Guilty though. That's my second favorite, but I'm not gonna tell y'all my first. Because every time I wear my favorite, I don't have it on right now, but when I wear that, it's like all the men are like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's like a magnet.
I feel you on that. Like, I don't want to be compared to other people either.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't have a signature scent that somebody can just go, oh, you smell like Wiley.
You mix a lot of yours.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of different stuff. I've got options, man. Options.
I kid you not. Every time the fragrance that I wear, every time women and men ask me, "What is that you have on?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
I got some that are killer, but I don't want people to like you smell like that every time.
Yeah.
Like I literally had a chick I talked to, just cordial conversation. Like she had bought something for her husband, and she was like, "Damn it, it reminded me of you 20 years ago." Because 20 years ago, I wore the same cologne. I wore chrome, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until the last couple of years that I started getting into, like, I got over 60 bottles now.
Wow.
Like, I've got stuff for just every different occasion.
Yeah.
Going to work, going to church, out kicking it, into the office.
I probably got like 6.
I mean, but that's just me. Yeah. Well, I didn't buy them from the standpoint of I wanted them all like that. It was really more studying, trying to train my nose so I could pick out scents because I wanted to be able to say, ooh, you have jasmine in your fragrance, or there's lemongrass here, and it was a conversation deal for me.
Yeah.
It was a way for me to talk to women. Oh, what are you wearing? And I just said, you smell nice. I can be like, hey man, that ginger really, really got, because ginger is
smell
really
like biscuits.
Yeah.
Hey man.
And fried chicken.
Take me home.
That's funny.
I need that balance. But yeah, I mean that's
So romance is still alive.
I think it is. I think going back to social media, we see a lot of examples of it. We also see a lot of examples of people not being, Netflix and chill is not romantic.
No, sirs, no. That's not romantic. I'm not trying to come over, and I don't want you to come over. No, we can't lay up, okay? Take me out, honey.
It just depends on...
I want to touch on that.
Please
let me shift.
What you got for me?
So I have a homegirl who she's single, not looking for a relationship, but she's totally fine with just having a dick appointment. Okay. Now she's running into...
With random guys or...
Well, no, I think she has like a steady one or two.
Okay.
So when she feels like it, hey, there it is, go get some, and she's actually hurt a couple of dudes' feelings. This is going back to that feminizing or just softer guy, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Whereas she comes through, she has her fun, and then she leave like Robin Gibbons in Boomerang.
Hey.
And now they feel it's hurt. They're sitting there clutching the covers.
Left us $200 on the stand.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm actually, I know her personally, and she's told me that, she wouldn't, I don't want to say inspired, but she has some friends that kind of feel the same way. It's like, look, I'm enjoying life just like these niggas are.
Yeah.
Why not? Boom, boom. They think I'm a hoe for them. And she's cool and she's professional. Yeah. What do you think about that woman?
Do you, honey? Hey, we grown. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you choose for your life, I have no judgment here. Mm-hmm. I mean, men do it. I'm not going to make that as an excuse. Mm-hmm. But why be sitting at home, sad, lonely, when you can go and have you a DP?
There you go. Double penetration?
Oh, no.
That's what you into? Oh, hey. We've learned so much about
this.
You got to find the balance. It's funny that you said. I'm not going to care.
Clutch my pearls that I ain't got on. Oh, that's right here. Stop.
It's funny that you say that, man. I think that women, and I really can't stand this, and shout out to my boy CH for this, because he really gonna feel this. I'm tired of that living your best life. Like, I appreciate the sentiment. I'm tired of hearing it. Like, I want you to be great. Like, do your thing, but like, don't.
It's getting cliche.
It is cliche. Like, don't say your choice of whatever it is, whether it's reckless or whatever it is, living your best life. I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
Because it classifies everything now. And nice for what? Like, Drake, get out of here with that. Like, I don't believe
love that song.
You need more people. Yeah, like, I'm sick of that.
I love nice for what though?
Yes, you would.
Enjoy.
I understand why you do. I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's an anthem.
I'll be nice to these niggas. Like, this is the thing. If you come at me, you're respectful, okay, cool. But if you come at me thinking, oh, you just about to get ass off the flip.
That ain't what the song was saying.
I'm not gonna be nice to you.
The song ain't saying none of that.
On the lyric, he said something about she was in a relationship, life goes on, oh well. Yeah, because if it didn't work out, it's like, if it ended badly, why keep being nice to that dude? Go on with your life. That's how I took the song as. You gotta be nice to these niggas. I understand.
I couldn't deal with your interpretation of that.
It's saying she worked hard. She called her girls, let's go have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be staying at home crying over this nigga. That's what I took from the song.
I dig that, but again, like, don't go out and make reckless decisions in the spirit of living your best life and being nice for what? That's all I'm looking at.
Right. Going out having drinks with your girls, having girl time. Like, I was with my girls all day from 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 at night. We were together all day. We had brunch. We ate, talked, drank, went to the cigar lounge, smoked.
Living their best
went
life.
to the Ivy, drank, talked some more. And along the process of the day, we had men enter into the day and ended up with us at the end of the day. But we were just having our girl time. Yeah. And we was enjoying it. We weren't making any bad decisions. We were just living.
So you say.
We weren't.
No, I'm joking.
We were together.
You weren't.
Yeah, we were together. We were just having a great time.
I don't have a problem with that at all. Like, I don't have that notion in itself. Like I said, like, the notion of living your best life. I'm all for that. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, decompress, relax. If you work hard, you putting it down, you got your stuff together, you deserve that. But there's a bunch of people that don't deserve it. They ain't doing
quite just enough. Like, whatever, I'm going to just do whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by hiding behind that notion and being reckless with it. Like, that's what I'm getting tired of. It's like, man, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, cut all that out.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
y'all holler at us. We're live. If y'all have questions.
Yeah, we got some pretty good feedback and some questions. I wish there was some more women that were tuning in, saying what they needed to say.
There's one woman, that's my mom.
That's weird because it's usually hi. It's usually the women that are tuning in and questioning and saying a lot.
Yeah,
so I'm surprised.
Well, but it's good. Like, I like the feedback that Jomo and Christian, that they posted, and the questions that they were asking in regards to romance and courting and why things are, and Kendrick too, sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out. How things are the way they are, man. And yeah, it's just, we're in a hodgepodge of all these things right now. And we just got to figure out a way to wade through the bog. Yeah. To get to it.
Definitely.
I mean, I commend you, for being married as long as you have. Not that you've had
almost
experiences,
2 decades.
but it's rare. Like, I look at myself, I'm 2 years from 40, and you're going to be married 20 years, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, I was there, so I know.
You was there, yeah.
That's a blessing. So it gives you hope when you start to lose hope.
But it's like when I tell people, when people hear that I've been married this long, I guess they look and they think that it was this Disneyland.
Yeah, see, that's something I don't believe.
You know what I'm saying? No, we have been through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're still pushing through it.
And we're still pushing through it. But I use the word through.
Yeah.
We didn't get to it and stop.
Yeah.
You have to literally get through it. We didn't have these ups, we didn't have these downs. It was a moment where
Going back to looking at those options, y'all made a choice.
There you go.
Life is all about choices.
There you go.
Everything you do is a choice.
There you go. We had to have those hard conversations that you don't want to have in a relationship. You know,
and they come. People don't realize that.
Yeah, they don't come. They're inevitable.
You have to look that person that you love in the face and say, "Look, do you really want to be here?
I did this.
Do you still love me?
Yeah.
You look at yourself. Do I still love her?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's tough.
We've had those conversations, and we've had to pray about it. We've had to
definitely.
You know, we didn't go to counseling or anything like that, but we've been counseled by our elders. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem asking my mother or my father, hey, you know, I came home. We lived in Houston for a minute. It was a 24-hour trip. I came home. I said, I'm done. I came home done. My mom talked to me.
So it has been times when you thought y'all were done, where you actually left, but you ended up coming back.
I went back.
See, it don't have to end. You know, a lot of y'all people that are out there married think, you know, I'm going to leave and I'm going to stay gone. It does not have to end. Take your break and come back and have that conversation. Whether you're married or in a relationship with girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah. Like Christian just asked, have I ever thought about divorce? I don't know any married person that has not thought about divorce.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's always a thought. You know what I'm saying? Back to like you said, it is a choice. You know what I'm saying? We seriously thought about that.
Oh, it's cheaper. I keep it. I'm telling you.
Love through the pain.
That's facts.
So.
But
everybody's pain tolerance is
different. Facts.
Everybody's pain tolerance, especially when you know you got something around the corner. And I'm not saying everybody does that.
Yeah.
But even when your option is, I can do bad by myself. Even when that's the option that you're looking at.
Ooh, I can do bad.
I think that's problematic, man. I really hate
that.
That is a thought process that women have. I really hate that. Because
again, it goes back to that protecting our heart, protecting ourselves from hurt. And so that's why we say that. We rather be, I can say that I rather would be alone than to be with someone and miserable.
Oh, absolutely. I think, I think if you look at it from that base thought process, anybody would rather choose that.
No. There's some people that would stay there just to have somebody and would be miserable.
Because they want somebody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I don't want nobody that much.
They're not willing to look for the right body.
Yeah. I'd rather keep dating the wrong guy to find the right guy than to stay with the wrong guy and they're miserable for the rest of my life.
Wanda is shouting you out.
This boy here is wild.
What is her name?
Wanda.
Hi, Wanda. Which you gave into emotionally.
Chris, hold on, bro. Hold on.
Chris, stop being messy.
that boy done called me out on it, man. I'm not saying no names, man, but I have thought back and forth a bunch of times. I done made my late night calls when I was drinking, that I shouldn't have.
Ooh, that alcohol get you in trouble, them late night texts.
Justine.
I didn't get in trouble. I just got ignored. That's all.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get in trouble.
She didn't respond?
No, because it's
that's tough.
Whatever I did, because that's the one thing. My last relationship, I split. There's no closure, and I'm a firm. Let me not say a firm believer. I don't necessarily believe that closure is important. Sometimes it is what it is. It just ain't gonna work, and you need to deal with it. Whoever it is, myself or her, or whatever, or anybody in a relationship. But
I usually try to get closure, and if I don't, then I make myself at peace with it. I pray about it and I let it go, because some people, they don't know how to have closure. Right. They don't want, or they're trying to keep you coming around. Yeah. They hold that over your head so you can keep trying to come back and talk to them. And so instead of allowing you to hold me prisoner, I'm going to just pray about it, let you go, and go on with my life. Because you're not going to sit here and hold me as prisoner just because you don't want to have peace with the situation. I'm not going to feel guilty because you don't want to just deuce it up and be like, okay, we good and we can move forward. When I see you out, what's up, keep it pushing, because we're all adults, So,
or at least we should be, right?
Yeah, we should be. But everybody has that different level of maturity, so.
Can you still be friends with an ex?
Yeah, I'm friends with all my exes.
That's because they want you back.
No. Not all of them live in Texas.
That's just because they want you back.
That's facts. I can literally sit here and say that if I wanted to get back to any of my exes, I could. Some of them are married. I'm not going to even go there, but we still have good relationships. Like, we're still in touch. They're still in touch with my family. And
that's too much to me.
Well, not like, I'm hitting you up type stuff. Well, one of them is, but not all of them. They're like more like, I like your picture, or they'll say a comment on, or we're
that's
out.
Different. That's different.
But one of my exes, he's in touch with the family. Like,
I think that would be too much for me.
You can't get into that.
No, it was something that I wanted to ask you about this before we started recording. So we'll save it for the next episode.
If you would ask, I'm an open book.
It doesn't. It involves you, but it also involves someone else that you know. It was something that you posted on your Snap. So, so we might.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm curious. What happened?
One of our married partners.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Leave that one alone.
But I mean, hey, I'm gonna give that example of my ex that is actually married. He's still in touch with my family. He actually told his wife, like, she's family to me. Like, they even though we're not together, I'ma always love her. And though
I get being true to that, but man, that is something that I would not do.
Yeah. But when you touch a person so much and your family touch them so much, it's hard to let that go.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I just wouldn't tell, like, if that's something that I went through, my new girlfriend, wife, or whatever.
They had to have a conversation about it because she didn't like the fact that.
Oh, she's aware.
Yeah, okay. She's aware. And it was brought up because he was like, I'm not letting her go. Like, either we gonna be cool. I mean, we gonna be together or not. Because it's not like me and him talk every day. Like, he'll check on me, make sure I'm good, but he talks to my family more than he talks to me. So.
I could dig that, and when you're entrenched in a situation like that, it's hard to let that go.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't be down for that shit. That's just me, because I know me.
Yeah.
Like, if my family is in touch with my ex, and you did that.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
I don't have an issue with it. I mean,
as long as it's respectful,
definitely.
I don't think it's
like,
a problem.
he texts my mom, Happy Mother's Day,
right.
Stuff like that. Like, she's a mom to him, so. It's not.
This boy coming again.
Wait, is it Chris again? What you want?
He gonna be here one day.
Oh my God! You have to join us, Chris.
So his question is, and this is actually a very interesting question. He says he's going to rephrase the question to me. He's like, "Do you believe that the lack of exercising what you believe is corny backfired?" Does that make sense?
That the lack of what?
He says, do I believe that the lack of exercising what I thought was corny, like what I wasn't willing to do, do I think that backfired? That's an interesting question but it's all up to, in the situation that I was in, yes, I think that it backfired because she communicated to me that she wanted the romance.
She what? She did what?
She communicated.
You know what I'm saying, y'all?
No.
Communication is everything. When we tell you something, Ben, listen. Because we mean what we say.
I did what she wanted me to do. I just did it on my time. And that's where the problem came.
Patience.
And that's where it messed up.
Well, no, I'm stubborn. Like, I'm not gonna lose my identity for nobody.
Yeah.
But
you giving in is not losing your identity.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't think that it was giving in. Like, this is the exact notion that I had.
We gotta love people the way they want to be loved. We can't love them the way we want to love them.
Exactly. She took the words right out of my mouth because that's what I wanted to do. I was trying to take that away from her. I'm not going to do it because you told me to do it, because I want it to be my idea so that you can know it's genuine.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was important. But honestly, man, really, once you learn your love languages and you can communicate those things, you just got to listen.
Love languages are very important.
I had to learn that and unlearn it through my singleness to understand, like, okay, that's what she's trying to say.
It's called being selfless.
Exactly.
And I've learned a lot about myself and just every dating situation I've been in, I've learned so much. And it takes.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, even if you're not married and you're just only courting or dating, it still takes being selfless and it still takes communication, because that's what's going to lead to the more, I guess, official part of the relationship. So.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Does that answer your question, Chris? Does it answer your question? Yeah.
He gonna have another one.
He gonna have another. I already know he gonna have another.
Coming. Where the ladies at? Ladies, y'all don't have any questions?
Yeah, he's super excited that LeBron is a Laker now.
Hey, LeBron making the moves, man. He building a foundation. I ain't mad at him, though. I mean, hey, look how he live.
Is that what you said?
No, I was singing a song. Got the moves.
Oh, okay. Who is that? Is that Future?
What?
What song is that?
Money Moves?
Yeah.
Fuck, who is it?
Nah.
It's on my shuffle. It's on my playlist. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Spotify. But
right?
Can't get these streams. But yeah.
Y'all can follow me on my Snapchat too, Tishtill, TISHTILL.
Her Snapchat is so
funny.
Her Snaps. That's why I gotta clear something with her before I bring the subject on. Your Snapchat, man. If y'all want to know where the popping party is, she's probably gonna be there at least for 15 minutes before she jumps to the next popping party.
I thought I had my finger on the pulse. Man.
Dallas socialite.
You know, one of Dallas's most eligible bachelorettes and socialites.
Where you at?
Boy,
I love life, man.
You supposed to.
When I die, they're gonna be like, Tish lived life. She did not her bag. Yeah. Best life.
Oh, man.
Hey. I don't know why I like that song.
It's funny,
it's
man.
It's funny as shit with that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, we can go ahead and wrap this one up for today. And this was some interesting combos that we had.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that's joining in the comments.
Thanks
we sure appreciate everybody. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the questions.
It's been a minute, but we're going to try to make this a little bit more frequently. Everybody busy living their best lives, but we're going to try to make this work.
Y'all can follow us, the Facebook page, The Bogus Show on Facebook, The Bogus Show on Instagram. And I believe it is also The Bogus Show on our email. So if y'all have any questions, topics, interested in maybe even being a guest.
Yeah, thebogusshow@gmail.com.
There we go.
Boom, boom. Throw us some topics, because we're here for you. We want to know what you want to hear about and talk about and discuss. So.
Real talk.
Holla at us.
Thank y'all for watching.
In a mode.
It's Tisha and she's out. And y'all gonna listen to us talk until I get to the camera.
Come on,
Happy 4th. I hope everybody had a safe holiday.